Hey everyone, it is so nice. Hi Mindy, hi everyone. It's so nice to see so many people here today. I'm really excited about this training session because this is something I'm super passionate about. And I just feel like the digital world, this is, marketing to win more deals. The digital world is constantly growing at a rapid pace. And, it's really important for us to keep up with our business. You can look up any company, any business professional online, and 9 out of 10 times, it's 2022, you're gonna find some substance about what they're doing and what they're providing for their users, for their customers, for their clients. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so we can get right into the presentation. So just give me one quick second to do that. Let me just click present. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay. You see.
Yeah, we see it. I think
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me
coming up on the end.
I'm actually having hold on. I got these double monitors, guys. I'm like a beginner at using monitors, so just bear with me. I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate everyone's patience. Let's see.
This happens all the time in the Miami Association Realtors too, and all the Zooms that I take.
It's can be a little frustrating, but hey, I figured it out. Okay, cool. So real estate branding 2022. Everyone can see this all right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's see. So first thing I want to tell you guys is don't feel like you have to take extensive notes. Don't feel like you have to write everything that I say down. This is a recording, this is a recorded training. I want you guys to really just enjoy listening and just taking in everything that I'm going to be sharing with you, because I am going to be going over quite a few different aspects of what you can do to market yourself, market your business, market yourself as a professional real estate agent. And, if you want, I have notes written out too that I can, share with anyone who wants that. So just really sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So first things first, people have a lot of, assumptions that, oh my goodness, I can't really dive into marketing unless I hire someone because I have to be tech savvy. I have to know everything about everything. And that's just not the case. If you're not necessarily ready to hire someone or outsource for your marketing needs, there are other ways that you can really dive into the digital marketing world without having to spend too much money, which I'm going to go into. So you don't have to be tech savvy, you don't have to spend a fortune, and you don't have to waste your time. The three things that we're going to be talking about today, big key points, are personal branding, social media marketing ideas to push your business forward, and mediums of communication and what is right for you. So here are going to be some tips to create an awesome viral response on social media. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying that, hey, you do all this in 2 weeks, you're going to become a social media influencer superstar. No, the important thing to remember is that it takes time. Okay. And we're going to dive into that more, but what I will start with is don't get discouraged if you get overwhelmed by the amount of information. Just take it one moment at a time and realize that even implementing 1 to 3 to 2 changes in your marketing habits will make a difference. So I want you to take a moment to close your eyes. Yes, it may sound silly, but seriously, close your eyes And I want you to picture this. It is the morning and your alarm is going off. And after you wake up to turn off the alarm and the 7 other alarms you had set, just in case you didn't wake up to the first one.
Mandana, the slide changed.
Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
What do you guys see?
Yeah, all we see is slideshow. And it says resume slideshow.
Oh, sorry about that. How's this?
It's there you go. It says
All right.
picture. Yep, we see it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, feel free to interrupt me if anything happens. Like I said, I'm new to this double screen thing, so I appreciate it. But okay, close your eyes again. Imagine you're waking up, you're turning off all your alarms. And after you turn off your alarms, you go to check your phone, which is what most people do when they wake up. You're looking at your notifications and you see a number 3 next to your Instagram and next to your Instagram application. So you open up that Instagram application and realize, holy crap, I got 3 DMs in my inbox of 3 different people who want to use my professional real estate services to help them buy a home, right? Now, think about it. What would it feel like to not have to go door to door, knocking, making cold calls, or breaking your back, climbing that uphill battle to find your next deal? Just never knowing, where your next deal is going to come or how it's going to get to you, but knowing that it's going to get there. How would that make you feel? That'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Well,
I'd love it.
Yeah, right? It'd be pretty cool. I mean,
dream come true.
Yep, it would be a dream come true. Thank you, Mindy. I love that. It'd be a dream come true. Well, online leads and online marketing is a direct correlation to being able to have that freedom, right? When you have online leads, granted, they're not all going to be substantial buyers or sellers who are ready to make moves right away. But there will be those people who are ready to move right away. And the people who aren't are going to remember you when they are ready. And it gives you that sense of freedom. It gives you that sense of control over your business. So why digital marketing? Why is it important? Well, quite a few things. We got reach, right? There are 4 billion people online right now. Think about that. 4.9 billion people are online. We are at a point in our society where people are more reachable than they have ever been before. I mean, people have cell phones, people have emails, people have TikToks, Facebooks, Instagrams. The list goes on. People have memberships and accounts to social media accounts that you haven't even heard of, I haven't even heard of, right? So the ability to reach so many people is at the tip of your fingers when it comes to digital marketing. Now, think about targeting. You're not sitting here trying to turn over rocks, convince people that, hey, listen, I am the best person to market your business. You don't have to go out door to door to do that, because in your digital marketing, you can target to the people who are ready, who are interested, who are already going online and looking up different real estate companies, different realtors in their area, different mortgage companies, whatever it is, they're already doing that. So you can set up targeting to be able to target those people, that audience. Now, leverage. Why digital media? Because it gives you leverage. Your ads are working 24/7. Your ads are happening when you're sleeping, when you're eating, when you're out at the club on a Saturday night, when you are negotiating a deal with a seller. Your ads are always working. So what does that do? It gives you leverage to have more control over your day, over your time. And what is the most priceless thing that exists is our time. Now, funneling will help you to build a path to people who, again, are already looking for what you can provide for them. So it's going to give you that direct group of people that need your help. Saving money, it helps you save money by, you only pay You only pay when people click. You only pay for the ads that you're putting out. You're only paying for the the ads that whether you're doing it for a week, whether you're doing it for a month. You're not paying for all these different physical forms of stuff because they already exist online and they just stay there forever until you take them down. And finally, you're able to measure your business, at least on the online side of things. When it comes to digital marketing, you got to think about it like this. You can't change something that you can't measure. You know what I mean? If you're telling yourself, I want to lose weight, well, what does that mean? You got to give, I'm at X weight and I want to weigh X amount. So that helps you figure out what you need to do to get down to that number. Same thing goes with your digital marketing. If you're getting 1 to 2 leads every 3 months, well, you can measure, okay, well, I'm only posting once a week. I'm only putting out an ad once a month. Maybe if I increase that, maybe I'll get more leads. So we can actually see and break down what it is that you're doing and what it is that's working and not working.
Yeah, it's great. And it's actually great to do that because it's really, you can easily get discouraged, if you don't actually, review your feedback. I mean, if you spend all this money and time doing all this marketing and, you're not looking at the leads and realizing that you are getting leads, or the vice versa, you're spending too much, it's good to actually track your numbers, as they say. Make sure you track your numbers. And sometimes that can be very difficult because the easy part is ordering that cool new marketing system. The tough part is the follow up and actually tracking.
Yeah, Mandana, you have to press the resume slide.
Yeah.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Yeah, you might have a good idea. Yeah, after each slide, probably.
Can we see it?
Yeah, we see it now.
Okay, thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I want to share some information with you guys. Did you know that 80% of all home buyers are searching online? And that 83% of all home buyers want to see pictures of properties online. Now, before I say the next statistic, let me just ask you, how many times, because I can tell you, I am guilty of doing this. How many of you guys have Zillow or go on Facebook and go into your realtor groups and just look at the houses in your area just to have fun and fantasize? Maybe this house I'll buy one day. Maybe this house. Oh, let me put a pin on that one because I think I like that place. I mean, I do it all the time. And I'm not even actually considering buying anytime soon right now, but it's just fun. So think about the people that are actually ready to buy. They're not going to go into the newspaper to see what houses are being listed and go look in person. Those times just don't exist anymore. People want to see the real deal online on their social media platforms. Now, 42% of buyers' first step was looking online for a home. So out of 100 people, 42 people, before even saying, let me think of anyone that I know that's a realtor, their first thing is, let's look online. Let me see what I can find, right? That's if that doesn't say a lot about the times that we're in, I don't know what does. Now, let's look at this statistic. 73% of home buyers are of the opinion that internet video influence their decision, including decisions about homes, brokerages, and realtors. So what does that mean? That means that we, as business professionals in this industry, whether you're on the realtor side, whether you're on the lending side, we have to make sure that we're showing up for those people, because 73% of them want to go online to get, to kind of gather some information, gather some opinions, figure out who is it that looks more trustworthy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but a lot of people, I guess a lot of young people will say, let's say you're a girl and you meet a guy and you're like, okay, I'm going to go on a date with him next week. What are you going to do? You're going to you're going to turn into the CIA agent that all of us women have inside of us. And you're going to Google that guy's name and see, does he have an Instagram? Does he have a Twitter? Does he have a Facebook? Who is this guy? Let me feel him out. Our digital footprint is kind of like our not our alter ego, but more an alternative way of getting inside of who we are without actually having to get to know who we are by communicating. So the same thing goes with your business. People want to know who you are. People want to know what you represent, right? Digital marketing is going to help you provide that for your buyers. Consumers, at the bottom, it says consumers retain about 70% of the information that you send to them if you leverage video, words, and images, which means more people than not prefer to be told something, be presented with something, whether it's through video or photo form with words included, than just getting like a paragraph of an article and reading it. People's attention spans are really starting to go down. So videos and photos are like, that's the shock value that gives people that feeling of, I'm interested.
Can anybody say TikTok?
Exactly.
Short attention spans. It's funny how marketing is starting to really shift that way, and how popular platforms like TikTok are going, because they realize people just want to see the 10 seconds, and move on to the next thing. The attention spans are getting shorter and shorter.
We're back in kindergarten.
That's for sure. It's funny how we start. They always say you start like an infant, and then by the time you end your life, you're back being an infant.
Dr. Seuss generation, I call it. Dr. Seuss generation. They like the pictures with the quick description. Next.
That's right.
So let's get into the actual steps that we can take to build our branding. Think of your branding as your reputation. Branding is the why that people want to hire you, right? If you want to continue growing, you have to have a solid real estate brand, particularly when it comes to social media. Because, think about it this way. The basics of real estate have always been building connections and building relationships, right? It's all about, having good conversations with people, making sure that they realize that they can trust you and that you can trust them. This does not change. A lot of people have the misconception that digital marketing replaces that sense of wanting to build a relationship. And sometimes it can when it comes to the way that you market yourself. But if you come up with a brand story, that is only going to help amplify those relationships. Because at the end of the day, the digital marketing is there. But behind the scenes, you're doing the work day in and day out. You're making those phone calls. You're meeting with those clients. You're meeting with those realtors. You're meeting with all these people and building those relationships on a day-to-day basis. So give up that misconception that your digital marketing is replacing your relationships, and embrace the fact that it's actually amplifying and showing other people how solid of relationships you have built, right? Building and maintaining those relationships, they play a huge role in growing your business and industry. And when that can be represented on your social media, people are only going to, like I said, trust you more. People are only going to trust the people that are commenting on your pictures, commenting on your photos. Oh my God, I love this program. I used this program to, I'm just talking on the lending side for us. People are commenting, I loved this program on a graphic that we post about a USDA program. Oh, it helped me so much buy my home. Other people who are interested in that program are going to say, wait, that person let me look at their profile. That's a real person. Oh my gosh, they helped them with that loan. Let me see if I can get qualified for that. When it comes to what you guys are doing on the real estate side of things, if people are seeing comments under your pictures saying, oh my goodness, you were just so much fun to work with. I just am so thankful for this experience. Thank you for helping me buy my home. What do you think other people are going to say? People are going to be like, wow, this realtor changed this person's life. let me call them because I'm trying to change mine too, right? So your brand story has nothing to do with, your logo, your color scheme, your website, or your design. It has to do with your messaging. So figuring out the why behind what you do is so important. Why are you, and really take a second to think about this, right? Why are you passionate about the real estate industry? Why should people want to hire you and work with you? What do you serve? What purpose do you serve? What is your belief system? What are your values? What are your morals? What are your values that you represent through your business? And another important thing is to ask yourself, do I have a brand? Do I have a brand? And if you don't, that's okay. Don't feel like, remember what I said at the beginning, don't get discouraged. This is not a training session to make you feel like you're not doing enough. It's a training session to empower you and show you how you can do more. So I want you to take the time to answer a couple questions. If you haven't answered these questions already, if you haven't taken time to think about this, take the time to think about right now, what is your belief system? What values do you identify with? What do you really care about? Not what you say you care about. What do you really care about? What gives you that feeling of fulfillment in this industry at the end of the day? Is it that moment when you see the look on your client's face when you tell them you just closed the deal? We just got you your dream home. Think about that. Who is going to, what is the problem? What is the problem that you can identify and essentially that you have a solution for, right? And then who benefits from the solution that you have? So it's really important to, when you're thinking of your brand story, right, to have a really clear idea of what problem you're trying to solve. So maybe you're in a really niche market, right, where you specifically help people who are getting divorced, right? What's the problem there? When people get divorced, the problem is that only one person gets to keep the house, then the other person's kicked to the curb and has to find an apartment, a condo, a home, so that their kids can have somewhere to go when they're visiting them on weekends. How can you bridge the solution and the problem together for that person to get them their home, right?
Imagine the statistics on that, on all the people getting divorced.
Yep.
Talk about a market.
You become a therapist also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another important question that I want you to ask yourself is, why are you, out of all of the other thousands and thousands of real estate agents that are out there, why are you the best qualified person to solve that problem? And don't let that question scare you. Well, I guess there's hundreds of other people that can solve the problem. So I don't know why I'm that person. No, dig deep. Think about it this way. If you do not find value within yourself, how do you expect other people to find value within you? It goes the same when it comes to, I know everyone here I know most London Foster agents know who Tony Robbins is and how he talks about finding that sense of self-worth, finding that sense of self-value. That's not only in your personal life, that's in your professional life. And if you don't believe that you are the best person capable to solve that problem, what makes you think anybody else is? So no one else is going to implement and put that sense of confidence in us that we can. No one can do that for us. Only we can do that. So when you really sit and reflect on that question, look at yourself the way that when I'm, working on this, I kind of like to get a little more introspective. And I kind of like to take myself outside of my head, outside of my body, and say, literally look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm going to talk to you like you are my little sister, my friend, my best friend. I'm not going to talk to you like I'm talking to myself. I'm going to talk to you like you are somebody else. Would you tell someone, listen, there's so many other people doing what you're doing. You're not really that different. You would never say that to one of your best friends, because you want to find the best in your friends. You want them to see that, right? So have those, it sounds silly, but look in the mirror every once in a while and talk to yourself and say, hey girl, you are a kick-ass realtor. Hey dude, you're killing it. Did you see how you negotiated that deal the other day? Those tactics and strategies you use, how you didn't take no for an answer, but you weren't pushy. Now that is intelligence. Now that is confidence. Talk to yourself like that. It's so important and so important. So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think when you come from a place of service, especially when you're trying to find your belief system and identify who you are, and you feel like you're out there serving people instead of like out there just trying to make money and just trying to get a commission, it's a paradigm shift, and it makes you more confident as you do your marketing, let alone when you try to just ask for the business. And, we're marketing all the time. We go to the grocery stores and as we go throughout our days, so yeah, good point. Great point, Mandana.
There's a book by Mel Robbins, The High-Five Habit, which you go to the mirror in the morning and you got to high-five the person in that mirror and you have to identify. And it changes your life within a week or two.
I love Mel Robbins. I got to check that out. Mindy, could you throw that name of the book and the author in the chat for anybody?
That would be great to share.
Read that. That'd be awesome. Thank you. So, now that we've kind of broken down what a brand story is and what are the questions you have to ask yourself to really develop that, let's take I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot. So if nobody wants to volunteer, that's okay. And if you don't have, if you don't have a full brand story, don't feel like it's okay. This is what we're here for. We're here to learn and we're here to empower each other. So does anyone have a specific niche that they're in when it comes to their business, and a set of beliefs, a problem and a solution? Does anyone have anything they want to share? And before anyone volunteers officially, I want to remind you guys, think of your brand story in a very loose, way. Think of your brand story as like your elevator pitch for your professional business, right? I'm sure everyone has an elevator pitch. And if they don't have one now, they had one for another point in their life for another business venture or passion. So think of it like that. Maybe that might bring a little more ease to any anxiety. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're brainstorming right now. Does anyone have a, willing to answer and share what their brand story is? What is your belief system? What is your problem you're going to solve? Who benefits in the solution, and why specifically you? Anyone? Let's see, I can't see if anybody's volunteering. No?
Okay, so personally, when I started this, I started because I didn't like what was happening in the system, and I still don't. I am, as your father well knows, FHA pro. That's what I like. I like first-time home buyers. I want to get.
She's a home buyer advocate. She's a home buyer advocate queen.
Awesome.
Yeah,
you found your niche.
Yeah. Well, I went in, and there's a whole line of people. Your father has a few that are just waiting to fix their credit and so on. Maybe they'll buy in a year or two, but in the meantime, they send me rentals, or they'll send me a buyer, or they'll send me somebody who wants to sell, and that's how you get through. And they know that I'm sincere. I look for government programs, everything. I send them all the information, And I do it with the little pictures and I
awesome.
ordered from the Federal Trade Commission. I do a little seminar for them. I was just recently told I could charge for the seminars. So that's what I do. I get them to come face to face, even with the mask on. Come in, I sanitize everything in the conference room. We sit down, we talk. Where are you going? What do you want? Where you're at? I found out one of them actually during the pandemic makes this amount in salary and actually charged the following year everything on her credit cards and her salary. She didn't adjust her life, and she was very upset that she couldn't buy her home yet. But that's what happens, and you have to encourage her through all that, and you have to say it's okay. It's a decision you made at the time. You don't know if you're going to live or not. You don't know what's going to happen. So psychology, or you become somewhat of a therapist for yourself too, because as you're talking to them, you're actually helping yourself. So it benefits both parties, it benefits everyone, and it empowers the community, which is what I believe in, to empower the community to this is too much of corporate America.
And thank you so much, Mindy. That is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, they're very nice. Most of the people and the colleagues and realtors, because you have to make realtors, like, they fight with each other. I like to embrace them and make them at ease, a listing agent, and keep them involved, and they love it. And I have 12 Google reviews between buyers and realtors. So I think that's important to help, and that's how you get phone calls. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. I love that. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about right now. Your niche, your problem are first-time home buyers who are not educated, who are not aware of what they need to do to purchase a home. All they know is, I need to purchase a home. So what is the solution that you provide for them? Mindy's providing them education, seminars, providing them text messages, emails, calls with physical, tangible, digital tangible pieces of graphics, photos, videos that are going to educate them. And why, from what I got, and correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to the question, why out of all the realtors would they come to you? Well, because you're consistent, and you are getting down into the details of what is actually going to impact their experience and actually impact their potential to buy a home. You're actually going day to day, and you're making the time to take that extra step and finding different resources for those first-time home buyers so that they can learn, they can understand, and you're not rushing them. A big reason why I feel like people must really love working with you is because you're patient, and you're not going and helping these people expecting to turn their lives around in a day and close a deal with them in the next, even a month. You are okay and at peace with knowing that, hey, I might talk to 3 different families, and those 3 different families might not buy for another 6 months, but hey, I'm going to put the work in now so that they know that I care about where they buy. I care about what happens to their credit score. I care about the details, the ins and outs of this transaction, more than just the monetary value it brings, but the lifelong lessons it brings for them. And it reminds, like you said, it reminds me.
Okay, so basically I converted. When I noticed that they're not going to qualify, I changed it from home buying to a home journey, so that in their mindset, it's okay, it's a journey. We're not going to really buy now. So we're going to go through that journey together. And then you just keep up with them. You don't make money that way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. But I'm in it for a different reason. And I still have to make money. So I do. And just like that, people call me, and my first listing is 1.1 million. So.
Wow, that's awesome, Mindy.
That's by a referral. So, so I'm still working on it. And there we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing. It could not have gone more perfect with what I was talking about. And, for anybody else who's on here, just, I want to extend the invite to share. Anybody else want to share with us? It's okay if you don't have every question asked. Maybe you just know the problem and the solution that you want to figure out. Anybody feel okay to share? If not, we can move on. That's okay. No? All right. Am I missing? Is anyone raising their hand? I just don't want to. Let me see. Got to look through everyone. Okay, we're good. That's okay. All right, guys. So let's keep it moving. So, kind of jumped to a conclusion down here. So it's really important to remember that the brand story, that is the foundation of your marketing home. But creating an amazing social media presence, that is the walls, the windows, and the doors to having to really maintaining that brand story and giving your viewers, your followers, your past clients, future clients, a really good experience on your business. Because without a social media presence, there's no substance for your potential new clients or referral partners. That's why the most important thing to do when growing that presence is to show up. Show up, show up, show up. Think about it this way. If you don't show up, people don't know you're there. I think about it, the way that I think about the importance of showing up and having a social media presence is like going to a family reunion when you have like 50 family member reunion and only 3 people show up. That's it. 50 family members and damn, only 3 people could pop out to the function. Are you serious? Well, granted, you're still going to have a great time. You're still going to have some substance there. You're going to have some memories to share. But think of the 47 other people who could have added to that experience, right? Think of each member of a family who's attending this family reunion as each post that you're making on your social media, each time that you show up to social media, right? So it is so important to show up, but it's also important to show your face. It's so important to show your face. Your face is the moneymaker. You need to be the face of your business and of your brand, because let's take it back to the basics, right? What is real estate? What is the foundation of real estate? Building relationships. Building relationships with not only referral partners, but with potential clients, potential leads. So if that's the case, then if people are showing up for you, then when it translates into your social media, what makes you think that it's going to be any different? People want to see you. People want to see you represent your brand, your business. Think about it. Raise your digital hand on Zoom if you've ever heard of KKW, the Kim Kardashian West makeup and beauty line. You guys heard of that? You guys know who Kim Kardashian is? I don't even think I need to tell you, right? So did you know that Kim Kardashian made $100 million in revenue in 2021, just with KKW? Not even any of her other brand deals, not any of her shows, nothing. She just made $100 million in 2021 just from her KKW brand. Now, let me ask you, do you really think that Kim Kardashian has the absolute best quality of makeup out of all of the fancy, expensive makeup brands? Do you think that the actual quality of her makeup is the absolute best? Probably not, right? But why? Why is it doing so well? Well, because it's freaking Kim Kardashian who's the face of it, right? She's always, you look at her Instagrams when it comes to her branding, she's always the first person to model or show off her products. And people have already, built such an attachment to Kardashian that when she does anything, they want to support her because they know that her beauty brand goes way past than the actual physical product. It goes, it's an extension of what she represents, right? So the same thing goes with your business is showing your face. But let me reassure you, it's not just about showing your actual face. It's about showing your presence through your level of consistency in posting. Now, every single person here, I'm sure, and if not all, most have a smartphone, right? It is so easy to post on social media on a consistent basis when you literally have a mini computer at the tip of your fingers, right? It's so easy to be at a listing appointment, right? And just want to take a video real quick. It's so easy to go show your buyer a house and just say, hey, I'm here with Kathy, one of my clients who I just love to work with. We're looking at this spot. Let's say you're the listing agent for that property, but you're also representing your agent. You ask the buyer, hey, you mind if I kind of like what Mindy said, this is a journey. You mind if I capture and record or take a photo of a little bit of our journey, just to have it to reflect on and to show other people what it looks like to work with me? Yeah, sure. Let's take a photo in front of the house, post it, say, hey, this is the property that just went up on the market. I'm the listing agent. I'm here with my client, Kathy, who's taking a look at it. She might be buying it, but let's say, Kathy's not really interested in this house, but you want to kind of be a little witty, be a little silly, excuse me, and say, if anybody else is interested, you might want to hurry up because I think Kathy might have fallen in love with this house too. It's just being yourself and it's not always about real estate. You don't always have to post real estate. It can be those more personable things, and your smartphone and its ability to take video and photo so easily is going to help you do that. So, what does a consistent social media presence mean? It means that, some people do it every day. Some people don't do it at all. Some people do it 3 times a week, but you have to remember to think about it very, very simply.
Madonna, you have to press your Zoom slide.
Oops, sorry about that. You have to, thank you. You have to remember.
I have a question before you keep going. Sure. Are we able to, like, when we receive emails constantly of a new listing by so-and-so in our office, by another colleague in our office, we can actually post those, right, in our Instagram?
Are you asking me in terms of like?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. We'll take it away.
Okay, any listing that you advertise that does not belong to you, in other words, you don't have a listing agreement, you must have approval of the agent. First of all, let me say that. Semicolon, because here's the exception. If you have an IDX website, okay, and you look up that other property on that IDX website, guess what? That's your website. You can advertise anything that is inside your IDX website. So in other words, if you go to bobby.londonfoster.com and he looks up that property, he can put it on his Facebook, Instagram, email, because he's not promoting the property, he's promoting his website. So that's the value of having an IDX website. But yes, absolutely, if you're going to be advertising somebody else's listing, you must have written approval. Now, that being said, and here's the other semicolon or ... if the photos are professional photos, that license to use those photos only belongs to the listing agent. If you could download them, crop them, and use them, you are in violation of copyright law. But wow. if you advertise, and they're cracking down on it. There's actually been a couple cases here in Florida. But if you promote your website, then that's the exception, because that person authorized, when you fill out that listing agreement, you say yes to internet. That means you authorize that to go into somebody else's IDX. Okay. So that's the long, short answer.
Isn't IDX part of the MLS though? Like
Nope.
automatic.
IDX is a language. Nope. Don't get confused. MLS is multiple listing service. A multiple listing service is simply like saying cookies. Okay. Matrix Rapatoni is the brand of the cookie. Now, IDX, what it is a language. So if you imagine yourself, Mindy, you speak English and you have a friend who speaks French. You don't speak French, that person doesn't speak English, but you have a friend who speaks Chinese and they also speak English and French. So that person translates from English to Chinese, from Chinese to French. That's IDX.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Slideshow, Madame.
Thank you so much, Memo, for going into that. And for those types of specific questions about, you know, what you're able to advertise and what you're not able to advertise, definitely want to recommend that you gear those questions to Memo and Daniel because they know more about.
Nope. Not to me. Those are legal questions. Okay. So yeah. I know the answer because I checked it, but you want to check that with legal. And you always want to check with your association what is permitted, but I know the answer to that because other people have tried it in the past.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. Sorry, but yeah. So I saw Anna. You asked. You said, guys, could you do more specifics to apply to realtors? Are you talking about? Just wanted to clarify what your question, what you're asking. Are you asking for like more examples of ways that you can market, ways that you like things that you can post for realtors? You can type in the chat or just unmute your mic if you want.
Things that you can, you know, as a realtor, what kind of marketing you can do, you know?
Sure. And I'm going to go into that. I actually have a plethora of ideas that I'm going to share with you guys that are definitely ideas that can be translated into any type of brand you're trying to build, whether it's as a realtor or not. But obviously this is geared towards for realtors. So just keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, I'll definitely go into that more. No problem. So the next thing I want to chat about is a couple more, you know, statistics and information that's going to definitely open our eyes to the reality of the impact video marketing makes on your business. Oh, you're welcome, Anna. No problem. So here are the most important facts and figures. 74% is how much comprehension of a topic that increases by watching a video. So that means when someone's watching a video, they are 74% more likely to really understand and for the message and for that message to resonate with them, which differs from, you know, going on an article and reading some information, or even just sending someone an email with information. It's going to be so much more impactful if you can just condense that information into a video. Not only does it give that level of personality and, you know, your ability to be personable, but it makes it quick and easy. If someone can take 2 minutes to watch a video and understand it for like really well the first time they watch it, it's going to be so much easier for them than reading an email and having to reread it like 5 times to really understand what you're trying to get across to them, right? Now, 12% of people buy a product immediately after watching a video about it. How many people, think about Amazon, how many people when they're buying something on Amazon, how many of you guys, and you can just say in the chat, just say me, you know, how many of you guys go out of your way to look at the reviews, but specifically look at the videos? Anybody do that? Because I know I do. If I'm going to, you know, buy, for example, I just bought a couple weeks ago, I just went and bought a ring light, which I have here. So when I'm doing Zooms and trainings, I can look better. I just bought a really awesome microphone for like $30 that just plugs right into my computer. And I also just bought a one of those like stands for backdrops. Now, every single product that I bought in that purchase, I watched a video. I watched how they set it up. I watched how durable it was. I watched everything that they were willing to show me so that I could get a better idea before I put in my credit card and bought it, right? So keep that in mind. If you're doing that, chances are so many other people are doing that too. So what does that say about the impact that video has? It has a huge influence on people's decision to actually pull the trigger and move forward with you in the home buying or home selling process. Now, 30% of internet users online time is spent watching video content. 16 minutes per month is thus spent watching videos advertising. Now, most times we cannot get away from advertisements. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get really, really overwhelmed with how much is being advertised to me. I feel like anywhere, I mean, that we're living in a world where it's not about the products. It's not about the services. It's honestly about our attention span, you know? And when we can put something, we're buying people's attention. We're trying to get people's attention so that then once we get that attention, that's the initial hook. Once we get their attention, then we can go and explain to them, you know, why we're the best people to get there or to earn their business, right? So 80% of visitors will watch a short movie until the end. 13 minutes is how long it takes to grasp video content faster than by listening or reading. 75% of people visit the product page after watching a video. I can tell you that I literally just had this experience 2 days ago. This ad came up on my Instagram of these cute athletic like skirts, like the skirts, but with the shorts underneath. And they're like these athletic ones. And I've seen this ad like 5 times, and every single time I skip through it. But this one time I was like, let me watch what this girl has to say. And I ended up clicking on the website and saving the link so that when I was ready to buy that skirt, I knew it. Now, imagine, had I not seen that video, would I have even known about the skirts? Would I have even cared? No, but there was a girl who looked like my age, who looked like she, kind of, had the same sense of style that I did and that I do. And I was like, let me listen to what she has to say. So I'm telling you, video is everything. And let me make an assumption about a fear that you might have, because I feel like I can already jump to this conclusion because I know it's a fear that I have had. How do I make a video? I don't know how to edit. All I know is how to press record and how to press stop on my phone. How do I add all these graphics? That's too much work. I can't take time learning all that. Well, there are a lot of other, solutions to that problem that I will go over in just a sec. But the most important thing with building that social media presence is consistency. I recommend that you try and post every single day. Now, it's not always easy and it's not always going to happen. And it's okay to start slow. Remember that. Don't feel like, oh my God, I just did this marketing training and now I got to find content for every single day. And no, start small. If you are currently posting 1 time a week, I challenge you to start posting 3 times a week. If you're posting none, I challenge you to just post twice a week. If you're going 4 days a week, I challenge you to do 5 days a week. Start slow. If you can be consistent with 3 posts a week for a month, then the next month, try to do 4 posts a week. Then the next month, 5. Just try growing, taking it 1 step at a time. My dad, he always says to me, because I'm a huge, like my brain, I always tell him, I feel like my brain just is like, oh, there's always something going on there. I'm always thinking about a million things at one time. I'm thinking about the future, thinking about the present, thinking about the things I need to do. And every time he tells me, he says, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. And I'm telling you, that has like become my mantra and how I approach my life, both personally and professionally. How do I accomplish these huge goals that I have? Whether it's, how do I accomplish having a substantial digital marketing presence online? 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time. Now, I don't expect everyone to now add to their plate to go spend time on social media posting stuff, because it takes time. It not only takes time to gather pieces of content that you want to present, but it takes time to actually go in on every single platform that you're marketing yourself on: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. It takes time to go in and upload the video, come up with a caption that fits every single platform, because some platforms you can tell a story, some platforms you can give a blurb, right? But I have some really awesome news for you guys. Automation. It is such an important thing to know that you do not have to be the person going in and scheduling your content to post. Now, again, feel free to take notes. Don't feel like you have to take extensive notes. I'm happy to send this presentation with my notes of what I've talked about to you guys, because not everything's going to be on the presentation, but just reach out to me, reach out to us, our contact information. If you want the full presentation, I'm happy to send it to whoever wants it. Plan your post. Plan your post. Take one day a week to figure out what you want to be posted and automate them. Now you ask, how can you do that? Facebook and Instagram are both owned by the same company. So you can go into Facebook Business Manager and go to the scheduling tab, and you can literally schedule every post you want for the next 6 months if you wanted to. Obviously, you wouldn't do that because we're in an industry where everything is, everything changes, the market changes. So I wouldn't recommend doing 6 months in advance, but I would recommend on a weekly basis or even a bi-weekly basis, making sure that you plan your posts. And for the days that you want to post something that feels more authentic, like one of those in the moment posts, like I told you, you're at a listing appointment and you want to take a really cool video, but you can't take that video. You can't plan to post that video when you don't have the video because you're going next week to have this listing appointment, look at the house. So it's okay to leave those days open, but plan for the days that you want to post something like a graphic or something like a testimonial, right? So automating.
Are we able to, I'm sorry to interrupt, but are we able to take a quick video of a possible listing without disclosing address and say, stay tuned to see if,
I don't see anything wrong with that, but check with the people that memo to that's allowed. But I think that's a great idea. I think, and you know what? Let's take it even broader than that. Let's say that a house is about to go up on the market, right? And it's located in a beautiful neighborhood, right? Go to the neighborhood, walk, just literally have someone with you, maybe driving, so you can just sit at the window, keep your phone still, and all you see is all the houses in the neighborhood. Let's say this house, let's say it's a new neighborhood that they're developing, and soon enough they're going to be selling those houses. And you're not even trying to sell that neighborhood. You're just excited that you found out that there's a new neighborhood being built in your area, and you're like, oh my goodness, guys, check out this awesome new area or this awesome new neighborhood that's in the process of building. Here's a video of when they started. Here's a video of how they're what they look like now. You're not selling anybody those houses. You're just sharing your love for homes, right? So in terms of specifics like that, definitely check. But in terms of a marketing strategy, I think that's a great idea. That's an awesome idea. Another, before I forget to tell you guys this, another place where you can automate your post is Canva. I don't know if you guys have heard of Canva. First of all, Canva is a great place to create content. You can make graphics, you can make flyers, you can literally format what you want to create in any form. They literally have templates for every single form. You want to make a LinkedIn post, you want to do a Facebook photo, you want to do a Facebook cover photo, you want to do an Instagram story. I mean, the list goes on. You can even make videos on there. And they do have a lot of stock footage, stock photos, stock graphics, and they do give you access to even more when you get a subscription. I believe that I paid, it could not have been more than $125 for the entire year. And to be honest with you guys, I buy it every year and it is worth every single penny. The amount of times I use Canva, listen, I don't expect anyone to be a Photoshop wizard. Have you guys seen Photoshop? It is extensive. It is robust. Canva is such a user-friendly version of Photoshop. It's definitely not as robust in the sense of you can't edit a lot of detailed things on Canva. Like you can't edit certain parts of a person's face and you can't do any of that kinds of stuff. But when it comes to the basic stuff that I know will benefit your business as realtors, let's put it this way. It has everything you need. Anything extra that those applications like Photoshop have, you just don't need it. You don't need it. And if you really want to get that down deep into the details about a post or about a graphic you want to make, you know what you can do? You can outsource it. Go to Fiverr. If you haven't heard of Fiverr, and you know what, if somebody can put that in the chat for me, Fiverr.com, Canva.com. Fiverr is a great place to outsource any type of creative content you need. You need someone to write you a script about the importance of, I know you're not in the lending industry, but you're a realtor. You're working with people who have to get pre-qualified. And if you know that their credit score, like Mindy, for example, she knows that a lot of people who she's being approached by are, their biggest problem is like their credit score because they just simply don't know that it's that important. Well, what can Mindy do? What can Mindy, talk about on her social media? She can share some tips about building your credit and the importance of having a good credit score to get qualified. That she can do that by just creating a little graphic, make a cute little background, add some text, add a picture with a thumbs up and a house thing, whatever. She can do it all on there. But let's say she wants to make a video about that and she wants to write a script, but she's like, I do not have the time to write a script. I'm happy to sit here, read something and record it. Well, she could hire someone on Fiverr to, hey, this is what I want to talk about. Here's a link to an article that talks all about credit. Can you condense this and make a 1-minute script for me? Pay $10-15 for someone to do that. Maybe. I'm sure the prices aren't that bad for like a 1-minute video script. That's a great resource. So the final thing I'll say before I move on to the next slide though, is making content creation a habit, not a one-off strategy. So that goes back to what I said, finding a day, creating a schedule for yourself. Think about it. When it comes to implementing a schedule, you have to carve out time to actually plan what your week's going to be like. Same with social media. Carve out a day, maybe every Sunday. Take an hour to 2 hours just to plan out all your posts for the week. So when the week goes on, you don't have to even think about it, right? Maybe every Sunday you schedule all your posts, and then maybe every Tuesday and Thursday you take an hour to reply to all your comments, respond to your messages. Of course, I would always recommend, especially as a realtor, and especially when your pages start to really, see some growth and you see that you're getting an influx of messages, definitely try to check your messages every single day. Definitely try to, but again, it's okay to start slow. If you're not getting a lot of interaction, it's okay to check it, 3 times a week. But definitely make sure that your end goal is to be consistent and to constantly be aware. And if you're not able to be aware of your social media, maybe you have an assistant who will be able to help you. Maybe you can reach out to a marketing major college student and do a little internship with them, where maybe you pay them for 5 hours a week, every day of the week. They spend an hour looking at your social media and following up with your messages and letting you know when you get leads. So moving forward, I know I just threw a lot at you guys. So I'm sorry if that was overwhelming, but
I have another question.
Sure.
You're saying that we can go like on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, can we just put there, see you in 3 days or see you Wednesday? Like, let's say we open it on Monday and we put a picture and all, and invite people in and say, post your questions and I'll answer you by Wednesday. Can we do stuff like that? Is that
And
normal?
say what? I'm sorry, you kind of cut out for me a little bit. You said and post what on Wednesday?
For example, like most of us don't have the time, or we're driving or we're out and we can't look at it every single day. But if we put a subject matter for people, like the rates that they're going up, what's going to happen to first time home buyers, what's happening this, and you want feedback from the community out there, especially from first time home buyers, you're supposed to put hashtag first time home buyers, just to attract them, and say, post your questions here and I'll answer you by Wednesday. You know, like if I do it on a Monday, I'll answer you in 2 days. And can we do things like that?
I mean, you could, but I wouldn't recommend advertising the times that you are active on social media, because it just, to me, and this is just my opinion, you know, I haven't tested or measured what that does, but to me, if I was to see that, I'd be like, okay, this person is almost too strategic with their social media, to the point where they're telling us what they're doing, right? Social media, you kind of want it to be, you want to approach it like it's just there. It's just, think about it this way. We have the real world. We're at a time in our lives where we're in the real world, and we're living in two worlds at one time. You know, our great-great-grandparents, if they were alive right now, they'd be like, how do you keep up with both worlds? Like, this is crazy. So, you know, this digital world is just here. People aren't necessarily, unless they're reaching out to you because they urgently need to talk to you, they're not keeping track of, you know, oh, like, look at all these people that commented feedback and she's not responding. Even a simple, like, if you're saying, hey guys, tell me, you know, share your success story as a first-time home buyer, right? And you just all you're doing is the goal is to get interaction. You don't need to respond to every single person and be like, you know, wow, thanks for sharing. Wow, thanks for sharing. Wow, thanks for sharing. You don't need to do that. That's so repetitive, not only for you, but when people see that, they're like, of course they're going to really appreciate it. And this is, of course, talking about down the line when you're getting lots of comments on stuff, like 10, 20 comments. If you're getting 3 comments of people sharing, go and respond. But it's okay just to like their message, not having to go the extra mile of like feeling like you have to have now a full-blown conversation with them, right? Let's say they say something that you needed to go to a full-blown conversation, then you can move that to the Instagram messages. But you don't need to tell people, hey, listen, I only reply on Wednesdays. Then they're going to be like, it just kind of, I feel like it would kind of shy people away from wanting to reach out to you, instead of just having this natural system of it just happening, right? And I don't expect anyone to be able to be on their social media 24/7. Yeah, of course. I don't expect anyone to be on their social media 24/7. It's just unrealistic. But that's why, you know, I say start slow. Maybe you get to the point where you are able to carve out even 15 minutes a day at the end of the day, or in the middle of the day, or beginning, whenever you decide to respond to everything, right?
What you could do, just a suggestion too, when it comes to social media, when you're thinking about, you know, on Wednesdays I answer questions, right? Maybe on Wednesdays you go live for 30 minutes, and every single Wednesday you go live and you make it known that, hey, every Wednesday catch me on live answering your questions every Wednesday.
That's
right?
what I was for.
And
yeah.
then
That's
you
a
start
great
promoting,
idea.
you start creating ads and content around that Wednesday day. And now it becomes like an event every Wednesday, and you have to do it every single week, so that, like Madonna was saying in the beginning, you know, consistency and trust factor, right? If people see you every single week, yeah, you might not get much traction the first 2-3 weeks, but 4, 5, 6 weeks from now, you might build yourself an audience of 20, 30, 40, 50 people that want to know what you know about what's happening in the market currently, right? So, that would be my recommendation, right? Instead of just saying, hey, on Wednesday, I'm going to answer your questions. Every Wednesday, I'm answering questions. Instead, be more service and say, every Wednesday, I'm live for 1 hour. And I'm going to just spill the beans on all types of stuff. And if you have questions, come, right? And then throughout the week, you can create, again, content around that Wednesday to remind people, remember Wednesdays, hey, on Wednesdays. And when you start using the features on these social media platforms, like the live, like Reels for Instagram or even Facebook now, stories, you start ranking higher and you start being seen more, right? So, but it needs to know that you're consistently participating with this, So I would personally recommend start with that once a week Wednesday thing, and then maybe twice a week, 2 days out of the week, you go on live, and then make those your 2 days for 30 minutes or an hour, whatever it is. So that way people start knowing that and tuning in for it and looking forward to it and knowing, oh, she does this, right? And then that would be my recommendation.
That's awesome, Daniel. That's an awesome idea. Thank you so much. That is great. And I as you were talking, Daniel, I even thought of, like, for those first few weeks that are slow. Now, remember, you're live. So people are literally watching you live. If you're not getting questions the first few times you do that, maybe even the first 6 weeks, you're not doing that. Maybe prepare some questions that you can answer that you typically get from your first time home buyers, until you get to the point where people are really starting to show up, and then they're asking questions. And then guess what? You don't have to prepare at all. You just show up. And now they're just picking your brain, and it's just a whole session of what can I learn from Mindy. So that's awesome, because you don't want to be sitting there just like silent doing nothing too,
Correct. The first few times, definitely, you want to make sure you have some type of like idea of what you're going to talk about, whether if you have an audience or not, because once you go live, you can share that video, it saves it, and then you can share that video onto your timeline or whatever have you. So no matter what, even if no one's watching, it doesn't matter, because somebody will watch that eventually, right? So, 100% on what she just mentioned to you. I agree 100%.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you for asking. So just moving forward, and again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to just jump in. By the way, Lily, thank you so much for sending in those links in the chat. I appreciate that. I was on a rant, so I couldn't type. But I want to talk about, finally, the top 4 best social media platforms for real estate agents in 2022. So Facebook and Instagram, like I told you, are both owned by the same company, which means you can access both Facebook and Instagram through, I guess they're calling it Meta now. Like, Facebook had this whole branding change. Now they're calling it Meta. I'm not emotionally there yet to call them Meta, so I'm gonna call it Facebook. But hey, I'm working on it. I haven't even like begin to discover what Meta is all about. But anyways, back on topic. Facebook and Instagram owned by the same company, so you're able to manage and control Facebook through Facebook Business Manager together. So literally, let's say you're planning a post on Facebook Business Manager, I want to post this picture of me eating a cheesesteak and put a caption that says, love eating cheesesteaks after a long day of work, right? And I want to put that on both Facebook and Instagram. It makes it so easy. I don't have to post it twice. I don't have to copy and paste, none of that. I just say, where do I want to post it? Boom. Facebook, boom. Instagram, boom. Schedule it. What day do I want to do it? Tomorrow at 3:00, which would be weird because obviously that's the type of post you post in the moment, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. So Facebook and Instagram, that's an awesome thing to remember, that you can control and run them all in the same place. Now, there are other social media planning platforms that you can do, like put all of your stuff on them, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. But those usually cost money, which is okay. But if that's not what you're looking to do it the free way. Maybe Canva will allow you to do a couple of them, or Facebook and Instagram. Those are the main ones, I would say. But anyways, Facebook, great place to help you with your reach, great place to make Facebook groups. You can create your own network. Let me tell you, I have looked up so many times, and this is going to be a real eye-opener for all of you realtors, because you could be the start of a network in your area. I grew up in South Jersey. I live in Jersey. We go back and forth between Jersey and Florida. We kind of split our time in both places. And I was about a year ago, I was kind of just doing some research as to, what rentals are in the South Jersey area. And prior to that, I was living in New York, and it was so easy to find a place to live in New York because they have these huge Facebook groups of like New York City sublets and rentals and homes and whatever, right? And it's literally just a whole network of just people posting, hey, my apartment's for rent. Hey, I'm selling this house. And it's just an easy place to see all the properties as a buyer or as a renter in one place. And I was shocked to see that there were no South Jersey groups that were current, that were consistent, and that people were actually, participating in, that were sharing rentals. I literally asked myself, I'm like, if I don't, without reaching out to a realtor right away, how do I see what is around me, what's available online? There was no place for me to do that. So I really encourage you guys to check out the areas that you're servicing in, and see if there's Facebook groups that exist for that area. And if there aren't, make one and invite other realtors to that group. It's not only a great place to connect with other referral partners, but it's a great place to connect the community to see what is available in their area. So Facebook groups are going to be huge. Facebook ads, I know Daniel has done some really awesome training sessions on Facebook ads, and I definitely recommend that you guys go back and check those out. But Facebook ads is going to be huge. Like I said before, you can do target marketing, target a specific group of people to see your ads. 72% of US adults adults use Facebook on a daily basis. So you already know that Facebook is popping. Like more people are on Facebook than are not. Facebook accounts are for more than half of all US social media usage. Over 68% of US Facebook users are between the ages of 25 and 65. That's pretty much the market that we're all in. We're really reaching that age group. 82% of US college graduates are on Facebook, 75% of users with an income above 75K. So these are really interesting pieces of information to kind of open your eyes to, like, Facebook is not dead. I really did think that Facebook was dead at one point. And when I started getting into the professional world after I graduated college, I realized that is not the case at all. And now Instagram allows you to switch to a business profile, which allows you to see what's being measured, to see your insights, to see who's viewing your stuff, who's saving your stuff, who's liking your, not necessarily who in terms of like, you can't always see who it is liking or seeing it, but you're seeing the numbers, the measurable numbers. So maybe you posted a video and 5,000 people saw it. Well, switch to your business profile, because without that, you're not going to be able to see it. So you can do that in your settings. And if you have trouble with that, it's a quick Google how to switch from a personal to a business profile on Instagram. That's the number one thing I would recommend. First thing you're going to want to do on Instagram is switch to a business profile. That's how you will be able to see your statistics of how your posts are doing. You can do ads on Instagram. You can do stories. You can do reels. You can do IGTV, which are more in-depth videos. Reels are like the TikTok of Instagram. IGTV are longer videos. You can post videos that are, that surpass 1 minute, where reels only do 1 minute at most. Your stories are you know, they're kind of like, they remind me of Snapchat in the sense that it's there for 24 hours, but then it's gone. But you're able to, you know, you can archive those stories and put them on your page as highlights. These are all things that you can kind of look into. You know, quick Google search and we'll show you how to do it if you have any confusion, or reach out and I'd be happy to help you guys. Hashtag strategy, partnerships. There's so much you can do on Instagram. And these are the top 2 social media platforms that are used in businesses and just with everyone. Those are the top 2 popular ones. Then we go to TikTok, which we know is going viral. You know, it makes going viral super easy. It's not saturated completely yet. I mean, I know at the beginning of the pandemics, TikTok was really starting to boom, but it's still not at a point where it's oversaturated. You know, you still have really good chances of getting a lot of traction, just depending on how you present yourself, what kind of video you make. Are you funny? Are you relatable? Which leads me to say, you know, TikTok adds a very big level of humor. There's a lot of diverse content on there, and it allows you to link to your other platforms. So you can like on your TikTok profile, you can have a little button that takes you to your Instagram, your YouTube channel, which takes me to my last point of YouTube. YouTube is a great place to dive deep. If you want to start getting more into the nitty gritty of your niche and what you're talking about and the problems that you're solving, but you don't want to only post them as IGTVs or even on Facebook, YouTube is like the standard. You know what I mean? Not the standard, maybe that's not the correct word, but YouTube is like one of the first platforms where we were able to so easily consume and share videos, and it's still one of the biggest marketing media tools that exists today. It allows heavy traffic, higher visibility on Google, and it allows you to build your email list on YouTube. So YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, those are the 4 best social media platforms for your real estate business in 2022. Making your videos go viral. This is my, I believe this is my final point. You want to start with asking a question, asking yourself a question, you know, but when you're figuring out how to approach a video, what's the question that you want to answer? And then in your video, start with that question. Introduce yourself, make it fun, make it entertaining, make it relatable, make it feel like the person is literally like talking to you. You ever watch a video and you feel like, you know that's a video that's going to millions of other people, but you just feel like they're speaking to you? How can you present yourself? How can you communicate in a way that makes people feel like you're more than just on the screen of their phone? You're right there. And keep it short. It's so important for your videos to keep it short. Remember what we talked about, that attention span. People's attention spans are going down and down and down as the years go on and as digital marketing and technology advance. Keep it short, keep it simple. Give them valuable information. Give them valuable information that's going to benefit them, help them, teach them something in some sort of way. And it doesn't have to be a whole lesson. It doesn't have to be this big like epiphany that you're trying to give them. It can be just something small that maybe they knew, but they didn't realize they knew about the industry, you know. Always include a call to action, you know, saying something like, you know, if this information is helpful for you and you have any other questions, feel free to Instagram DM me. Feel free. Well, you don't have to be so specific because you're probably going to be posting these videos on different platforms, but feel free to shoot me a message and ask me any more questions you might have about this. Or, you know, if this house is something that you're interested in, reach out to me and let me know. I'd be happy to show you. Like, send me a message letting me know you're interested, and I'd be happy to go take you on a tour and show you this home. And then again, close by reiterating who you are. Remember that brand story. Who are you? Why you? I'm not saying have your whole elevator pitch in every video, but add a line or two that says, you know, remember, I'm here for you. there's nothing that brings me more joy than knowing that, you know, I helped someone get into their home. Allow me to help you in your real estate journey or your home buying journey, like Mindy said. These are some really good key points that will help you get your video to go viral. And the final thing that I'll leave you with is to remind you that you can't expect results to happen immediately, especially if you're not being consistent, especially if it's just the beginning. But the important thing is to come to peace with that. Don't look at it as an end goal. Look at it as a journey. And I love that you said that, Mindy, because it's just so applicable to what we're talking about today. Growing, excuse me, growing your digital marketing and your social media presence, it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen to anyone overnight unless you're like incredibly lucky and have like a crazy funny video on TikTok go viral. Those are like the only times that you really go viral. But when it comes to building your business, it's going to take time, and come to peace with it. Be excited about it. Be like, oh man, think of it as like, you ever hear like the fraternities and sororities in college, how they have like Hell Week, or like they have like an initiation process, and it's like hell week or something. Think of like the first few weeks or even the first few months of this as hell months, right? It's going to suck. It's going to be annoying. It's going to want to discourage you, but stay strong, stay confident, and remind yourself, I'm not going to let the lack of interactions that I'm having right now completely discourage me, because this is the thing. Most people will start their digital marketing and they'll do it for a month. And then after a month, they see no results or not enough results. And they're like, I give up. Think about every YouTuber or every person on social media who's an influencer that you see right now has millions or thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. You keep scrolling back, unless they deleted their past post. If you keep scrolling back, you can really see where they started and how far they've come. The same, I promise you, the same will happen to you, but you have to stay consistent, and you have to ignore those intrusive thoughts that what you're doing doesn't matter, because I promise you it does. So I really hope that this training session has, brought you guys some insight, kind of, re-inspired and re-sparked that flame of knowing, hey, I can do this. It is attainable, and that there are so many resources that can help you build your digital marketing and essentially build your online leads. So anybody have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, any feedback they'd want to share with me?
One thing I can say, Mandana, is that, I call it tail end of what you were saying. And you're right. Staying consistent is probably one of the toughest things to do, especially in the marketing realm. I was just working on a marketing campaign, and I was at my 10th week, and I'm just like, man. And sure enough, I was able to get something from it. And you know what? It just goes to show, just staying consistent really does work, because that's what do they say? Money is in the follow-up. So if you follow up with whatever you're doing consistently, it's going to pay off. It's like the weighing scale phenomenon. When you're on a diet and you start weighing yourself all the time, and you don't see that needle moving in the direction you want it to, it can really be aggravating. But if you just stay consistent at it, stay consistent. Sure enough, a week. Maybe it won't happen in a week, but 6 weeks, you might see some results. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So.
Absolutely. And like I said, feel free, anyone, to reach out. I'm so happy to send over this presentation and put my notes, send you guys my notes with some of those resources. We have I put in Fiverr.com, Canva.com.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, those are some really good things that are going to help you. And just remember, like, we're here to help. I know the London Foster team, Daniel, Memo, Bobby, they're here to, you know, to help you. And ask questions, reach out to people who are at the level in their marketing that you want to be at, and ask them questions, pick their brains, ask them how long did it take them to build the success that they have on their online world, you know, and use those lessons to implement into what you're doing. It's crazy how the digital world has taken over every aspect of our lives, but we have more control over it than we realize. We just have to do it. We just have to do the work. So thank you everyone so much for joining. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate everyone being here and staying to the end. And I just hope everyone walks away, you know, learning a couple things.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Everybody, just so that you know, last week's previous training, we covered the IDX Placer website, and we did a full demo of those websites. It is now uploaded on YouTube, and I'm about to put it into the back office. Right now, this training that Mandana did will be in the back office as well. But I want to encourage you to watch that video, especially if you do not have your professionally branded webpage yet. We do offer an immense discount through London Foster Realty for only $39 a month. It's an amazing deal for this, for your own personalized website. And we have a full demo presentation where we walk you through how to set up your lead capture, how to set up your Facebook pixel, which allows you to retarget people on Facebook. Basically how to use your personalized website to market yourself online the best and most efficient way possible. So that video will be up in the back office in just a minute, and it's now live. So if you don't have your IDX website, I definitely encourage you to visit your back office under the marketing section and purchase one for sure. All right, so thank you so much. Next week's training is going to be...
IDX is the same thing as the IDX in the MLS?
Correct, what Memo was discussing earlier. So basically, we offer websites, personalized custom branded websites to you, which allows anybody come to your website and look up any property on the MLS, and only your contact information shows. So that's another benefit of having your own IDX website.
Does it show only the does it show the whole US?
I believe it's only limited to your MLS area.
Correct.
Not outside, huh? Okay.
No.
Yeah. I need for outside.
Mindy already thinking about being national. Love it.
No, well, actually, I sold a house in Colorado, and they just called me. They want to buy a triplex. So yeah, I have outside and another one in Georgia. So nice. And my listing is in Dominican Republic. So I'm trying whatever state.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Thank you again so much, ladies and gentlemen. Next week's training will be covering EDDM, which is every door direct mail. Those are mail outs, flyers, things like that. So thank you so much for sitting in on this call.
Hey, Daniel, I'm sorry. Carolina asked, can we promote other London Foster agents listing in the personalized website?
So what Memo spoke about earlier, he kind of covered that. You can promote the listing from your website, right? If you're promoting your own website. Now, if you are trying to take the images that not from your website and like trying to claim it to be yours, I think you need to first, it needs to be okayed by that agent. And if you don't know, you need to contact them directly and ask them. But the legalities of it, I'm not 100% clear. Memo said to make sure you hit up the legal hotline, which is in your back office under vendors, to make sure you are participating correctly. But you can always contact that realtor if you wanted to ask them directly. But Memo spoke earlier about if you're promoting your website with the imagery on your web page, then I believe you're good to promote that. Cool. Oh, okay. We said in the personalized website. Well, also in the IDX website, you can set featured listings, and you can put specific listings to feature on your front page. And that is something that they covered in the demo. And that video is being uploaded right now into the back office. And it's also up currently on the YouTube page for London Foster Realty. So if you wanted to watch that full demo on the Playstore website and how to set featured listings and things like that, I strongly encourage you to check that video out. Well, thank y'all again so much. Yeah, go ahead.
And just real quick, Daniel, just a little comment to Carolina's question. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if they have the access to the IDX website, in a sense, you're going to be able to promote any listing because you have that access. The only difference is when the consumer gets all that information, it's just going to have your information for them to contact, which is great. So essentially, I believe that's a yes to your question, but don't hold me to that. Always check with legal and everywhere else. Like another great resource is the chat that London Foster has where you can ask these questions. But I believe that's the case.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much. We'll see y'all next Wednesday for the EDDM training. As we always do these trainings to bring as much value as possible. I don't know what other 100% commission brokerages are giving out weekly trainings, providing you all the tools and marketing suite that available, as well as our online back office. London Foster truly is one of the, if not the best value add brokerage here in South Florida, and we couldn't be more happy to be part of the team. So thank y'all for joining us here on this training, and we'll see you again next week.